Hello, hello, ladies. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend thus far. Welcome to A Queen's Roundtable Show, episode number 15. I have an exciting guest here that's going to be a wealth of information. So grab your pens, your notepads, and just get ready and just be able to take all the information in. But I'm going to also leave it up to, so if you guys want to go back and look at it a couple of times, feel free to do so. So again, this is A Queen's Roundtable episode number 15, which I do this every second and fourth Sunday of the month. And the goal is each time I interview another entrepreneur, and we basically come on and just kind of have an open dialogue, open conversation. And, she's going to tell us a little bit about herself and how she got started, her why behind her business, as well as some of the different obstacles that she may have faced. And then lastly, we will end in kind of like a training mode where she's going to be providing you some valuable information that you will be able to take with you and be able to start implementing it. Okay, so go ahead, take it away, introduce yourself, please.
Oh man, hello, hello. How are you guys out there in Facebook land? I am Terri Coleman. I am the owner and operator, self-employed business achiever, wife, sister, aunt, you name it. I'm probably doing it. Terri Coleman is my name, and I am here today representing Elevate to Wealth. Gosh, it is such an honor, Jacqueline, for you to have me on today. I'm super excited for the invite.
Yes, thank you for being here.
Yes, super excited about being here today. So, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of information about who I am and what I do. So, I'm a native of Atlanta, and I always tell people, pretty much I was born into entrepreneurship. Okay, that's just straight up. I was born into entrepreneurship. So, the day that my parents discovered that, hello, little Terry's going to be on the way. My dad decided that he wanted to go into entrepreneurship because of the fact of, money was tight back then. And he didn't have really an option to work 2 to 3 different jobs. But he knew that if he had the ability to be self employed, he could dictate when and how he wanted to work. And not only that, but it also provided a means for my mom to be at home to take care of me during the day, and then for my father to be at home with me during the evenings. And a lot of families are going through that, right now, having to make those decisions of, who stays at home with the kids, who works, and that sort of thing. And so that's why I always say I was born into entrepreneurship, because right out the gate, that was a part of, you know, why my dad had to do what he was doing was because of me. And so with that being said, I just grew up seeing, I always tell people, I saw 2 sides to the fence. I grew up with a mom who did not work. She was disabled or on disability due to not physically challenged, but just health reasons why she could not work. And so she was a stay at home mom. And my stepfather had just a regular factory job, but my dad was self employed. And why I say I feel like I grew up on 2 sides of the track is because my mom's side, they typically had a lot of struggles, living check to check. While on the flip side of it, my father's side of the family were go getters, entrepreneurs, they were degreed individuals. And so, gosh, can you imagine growing up seeing the literally 2 sides to life? I lived in the projects with my mom, and then with my dad, he lived in Atlanta. It was a little bit more affluent. And gosh, talk about a balance. But with growing up having both, it kind of gave me a sense of both, where some people need a little street sense and you need a little book knowledge. So I married the two together. Right after high school, I joined the military. So I am a U.S. Army veteran. A lot of people may or may not know. Shout out to all of my veterans
Okay.
out there. I have a
Yeah.
lot of friends and family that I still communicate with till this day. And we, just you create a bond that you don't forget. And once I got out of the military, I knew corporate America was for me, but I knew there was something more. So what
Okay.
I did was I utilized the teachings and behaviors and patterns that corporate America will teach you, and I translated those into running my own businesses. Um, Today, me and my husband have a trucking company, as well as I myself have the platform of Elevate to Wealth, where I teach people pretty much what I love doing, and that's elevating yourself to wealth. And that completes, or I should say, not completes, but that includes us being able to learn about different facets: investing, real estate, credit, loans, how you're viewed when it comes to your application and stuff like that. So that's pretty much, I guess, it in a nutshell, if you will, of who I am. I am a wife, a auntie, a sister, a cousin, but most importantly, above everything else, I am very spiritually grounded in everything that I do. So you may hear hallelujah, amen come out of me. But be that as it may, if you do not have what I believe as a prayer life, someone that you can submit to from a higher power than yourself, then I would tell you to revisit and rethink the things that you are doing in life, because with that comes discipline, it comes self-reassurance, and it comes your focal point of support. So that is what I'm willing to share and give to everyone, just the knowledge and tips and things that I've been through in life, learning about business, starting up businesses, and I'm ready to take people to the next level, girl.
I love it. I love it. Um, I wanted to say, well, first I want to acknowledge, I don't know, Terry, are you able to see individuals as they join? Like, does it pop up on your screen too, or no?
No, and I was going to
Okay.
ask you about that. Yeah, I am not able to see them right now.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you probably will be like afterwards, after we finish recording. So I just
Okay.
wanted to say we have a second Terry in the house,
Ah,
right?
okay.
And because see, like I can see people's faces, but sometimes the name. Okay, so right, so Terry and Lisa. Hi, Lisa. How
Hi,
are you? Thank you for
Matt.
joining. I don't know if it's I thought I had saw Mary's picture, but maybe not. But thank you guys so much for taking the time from your Sunday afternoon to be able to join us. Even though I know you're probably multitasking. That's what we do, right? We know how
That's
to
what
do some
we
multitasking.
do.
But as I was listening to
Yes.
you, I let me just tell you, like as far as for me, I
Uh-huh.
like to give people the opportunity to talk, and I don't like to interrupt. But sometimes I may end up forgetting my point. You know what I mean? Because like I don't want to interrupt you.
Same
But
thing.
I was just listening, and I like how you kind of elaborated on that in reference to kind of seeing both sides of the coin, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And that I'm sure that that's giving you a very unique perspective, and brings, that way you bring so much more to the table, because I'm pretty
Absolutely.
sure, it changes your whole mindset and your approach
Yes.
in doing what you do. And I can tell you are so excited about it. And I like that, because
Yeah.
I think a lot of times, I think we touched on this before.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, we as African Americans, our relationship with money is
Right.
interesting, and I know that a lot of women out there, I mean, this forum is to help other, African American women,
Mm-hmm.
in business, because we want to see y'all succeed.
Right.
And I know that this is a big topic, because it is for me, and even
Huge
the
job.
even right, huge, even changing. Hopefully this will help people, or help those ladies out there that do have difficulty with it, be able to change your view about money, and me
Right.
included. So that's one of the reasons why I think this is so important, right?
Yes.
And so
Yes.
I wanted to say that. And I wanted to say that this is something new that I'm doing, but
Okay.
if tell us something about you that's like very unique, or like something that we would be surprised about, that like something that you
Oh
do
my
or that you like, or something like that.
So, as I was stating before, it's something that's unique about me. And a
Hmm.
lot of people are saying, my family, nothing surprises them. Let me
Okay.
just say that. Absolutely nothing surprises them. One thing that a lot of people don't know, I not only help my husband with his trucking company, but I have my very own CDL license, which
Oh,
the big semi trucks, I have my license to drive. So,
okay.
with that being said, watch out when you're on the road and I'm driving behind the wheel. I can tell you
Wow.
why I'm sharing that particular piece is because it teaches people about two different things. My background is real estate, mortgage, financing, all that, business, what have you. And when I had to learn something new, I was giving my husband the blues. I'm like,
Okay.
I don't want to do this. I am 100% sure it's going to be super hard. I can't do it. I can't accomplish this. But he kept pushing me, saying, you can do it. I know you can. I've seen what you're doing with your other stuff. It's all about just learning the fundamentals and utilizing them. And because I've been through it already, I'm going to help show you and navigate you to where you'll be even hopefully better than me. And again, why I'm sharing that is to say, even if this elevate to wealth may seem different for you, you're not quite sure about how to get into real estate, you're not sure about investing, stocks, bonds, foreign currency, you're not sure about the right thing to do with your credit, because everybody is posting online, join
About,
my this,
about
join my
credit.
that. And if you have someone who's willing to teach you the course, show you the platform, how to get there, trust the process. Just trust the process. Um, Especially if the person that's taking you along the journey has already been there, trust the process. If they truly have your back, they want to see you succeed, trust the process. If nothing else, you become a little bit smarter, you become a little bit more knowledgeable in a whole nother area.
Right.
So,
Right.
yep. So that's something very
Okay.
interesting that people probably wouldn't know about me, is that I actually do carry my own CDL license.
Okay. You know what
Yes.
I thought you were gonna say? I thought you were gonna say that it's good, like whenever, when you have a business, even though you outsource, different things, whether it's, automation like a virtual assistant, or, somebody to do your taxes, things along those lines, but you should always have that knowledge yourself. You know what I mean? Even though you're outsourcing, you're
Yes.
paying someone else to do it, but that's
Mhm.
because, not because you don't have a clue about it or just can't do it, but it's to free you up to be able to do those other things that you have to do, in your business, or what you're good at, what you're expert
Absolutely.
in.
Yes. Okay. I want to just jump in. I have a couple of people sending me messages that they
Oh,
can't get on. I don't know if you can send
hmm.
me the link or if they're just not sure where to
Well, you
go.
know what? If they go to, what are they friends of yours?
Carolyn, she can't, she's not sure where
Oh,
to jump on.
oh, you know what? She
Some of them
can
are friends of mine.
she can go to my personal page,
Okay.
because I'm streaming off of. I mean, I'm trying to think. Well, I could tag you as well. Actually, as a matter of fact, let me do that too.
Okay.
Because you know what? I put it in the group. I put it in the I Am a Black Woman group,
Okay.
Dr. Carolyn. I did that, and like I said, it's from my personal page and from my Facebook business page. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in. I'm going to tag Dr. Carolyn, and I'll tag you on the
Perfect.
on my personal Facebook page.
Okay.
If that makes
Okay.
sense.
I'm going to tell her now. She's
Okay.
tagging.
Okay. So let me make sure that I'm doing that. Hang on, everybody.
Okay.
Okay, so here it is on my personal page. So
All
let's
right.
go to, all right, tag people.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah, I just did it. Okay.
All right,
So
perfect.
so hopefully oh yeah, okay. So she said looking good, Terry. Okay, so
All right.
all right, so she's in. All right, thank you, ladies. Thank you so much for joining. I really, really, really appreciate you guys doing that and taking. Like I said, I know everybody's busy, and we, all have things that a million and one things we have to do.
Right.
So far. Well, now was she the only person, or was it
I
somebody
think
else?
when you tag me on the
Okay,
Facebook, they may catch it now because they'll see me
okay,
live. Yeah.
good, excellent. Okay, so where do we leave off? See, I told you this.
I know. It's okay. Well, we were kind of talking about, even though I am, carrying many, many plates and hats, so forth and so on, I do have to outsource quite a bit for, things that I have going on. But at the same time, I like to keep my hands in a lot of things. Now, that can be a good thing or a bad thing. And I say that because, we start learning how to do so much that it gets outside of our wheelhouse. You want to make sure that whatever you're doing stays consistent with what your goal is in mind or what you're doing. If you're a hairstylist, let that be your focus and let somebody else come in and do the websites and the logos and all that kind of stuff, because I'm telling you, it can get crazy. And work life balance, we forget about that when we want to, have our hands in so many things. You gotta have that work life balance in there, because if not, you will get burnt out fast, even if it's your passion. Even if it's your,
Hmm.
yep.
Absolutely, because I'm a social worker,
Hmm.
and you know just think about it. I mean, you're dealing with other
Yes.
people's, because a lot of times you're seeing people at their worst, so
Right.
it's easy to, get so, get so involved, but you have to make
Mhm.
sure that, like how you mentioned about the self-care piece, you have to
Yes.
kind of really, really practice good, regular self-care.
Absolutely. 100.
So I'm trying to, okay, so I had initially asked you something interesting. You said you have your CDL license, which is
Yes.
definitely, I'm like blown away by that. That's wonderful.
Yeah, so is me going through that training to get my driver's license for it.
Was it a lengthy training?
Well, I did self-study and went and
Okay.
had to take a series of like 7 tests,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to take a road test. So just like when you get your
Mm,
license to drive a car, you have to
okay.
actually get inside of a semi truck and drive it
Okay.
on the street. Yeah, it was
Okay.
a whole yes. But I passed.
But you passed, you did it. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So let's
Oh,
dive in a little bit more. And
okay.
I know you touched on some of this earlier, but the next two questions is what
Hmm.
is your how did your business come about, and what is your main why, if you will? Or I mean, you can list more than one if you like. Your,
Yeah.
your motivation behind your business. And like I said, I know you touched on it before, but if you want to be
Yeah.
able to elaborate a little bit more now, that's fine. That would be excellent.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, why did I decide to go into creating a platform for Elevate to Wealth? It's twofold. A lot of my friends, including myself, we always thought, man, how do the wealthy people become so wealthy so fast? How do they obtain wealth and not let it go? Where we see struggling people, even people who are CEOs and presidents and all these big titles at companies and corporations, you lose your job and then life kind of falls apart. Um, Being from the banking industry, I have been laid off 7 different times from major bank to major bank. Yes. And so I'm a true living, walking testament to say, you know, and my friends too that I've seen go through that cycle of up and down, especially in such an industry that's as volatile as banking and mortgages. But even with that being said, I'm like, some of us are still thriving and pushing and going, and others are just kind of falling by the wayside, trying to find something new. And what I realized was that we were not doing the things that the wealthy people are doing. So that when the layoff comes, you're not worried. You can still pay your
Mhm.
bills, you can still live the same lifestyle you're living. That's what clicked in my head that said, that's the motivation.
You know
Is
what?
uh-huh.
I'm sorry. So here I go. But
No,
this is
you
just
good. You
I don't want to
good.
forget. But this is so. Did y'all hear her say laid off 7 times? Right? One,
Mm-hmm.
two, three, four, five, six, seven.
Yep.
Right? And I say that because I think a lot of people
Uh-huh.
really feel or they're fearful of entrepreneurship because they fear that it's not going to be stable. But from what
Sure.
I'm hearing, not just from you, my experience and other women that I talk to is
Mm-hmm.
that this is like a this is it now. I mean,
This is it.
those days of going to a job and collecting a
Yep.
pension and being there for 30, 40 plus years, I'm not
That
going to say it's
that's gone.
totally obsolete, but we
Right.
are definitely moving in that direction. That
Oh.
like you said, we really have to work hard at
Mm-hmm.
and be serious about actually putting things in place for
Yeah.
ourselves, for the future, for ourselves and our family. Okay, I'm
Yep.
done. Go ahead.
Ah! Okay. No, and what I say earlier, amen to that. um,
Mm-hmm.
I think you said it best, and that's why I mentioned that is to say you can have, I mean, I was top producer doing my job great. When the numbers say we're in the red and we have to
Yeah.
lay off, they're going to have to eventually lay off some of their best people.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is because it's corporate America. It's driven by numbers, percentages, what this company is doing versus what that
Yeah.
company is doing, new trends in the market, things change. But one thing that you can put solidification on, what you can control, is the funds that you bring into your household that you generate. Because if you own the business, you can say, I want to work this much to make this much, or I want to go on vacation. And then you now have control of your ups and downs, those swings in life, whether your job lays you off or not. And I always teach from Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the four quadrants of business, the four quadrants of where do you fall into a particular category when you look at your life, when you look at your career, when you look at where you want to develop. And this is another part of the foundation of my why. My why became when I looked at those four quadrants, and it was employee, self employed, uh, you know, investor, that's where I want it to be. Self employee to self employed. Basically, you're just running through, the mill, whether you're a hairstylist, a makeup artist. That employee to self employed is one person, a one man show. You're handling, like you said, everything. You may not have the finances to do your taxes and websites and all this other stuff. So your hands are in a lot of different things. I always look at it also from like the business mind of like a Tyler Perry. When he started out, he was homeless. He was an employee of someone. And then when he transitioned and started doing his stage plays, he actually started becoming self-employed. He was writing the scripts, being in the plays, doing all of this stuff. And then he moved into a business. That's when you start adding people to you. That's when you're showing up for work, you have people that work for you, and you're making money and things happen. But let me tell you, Jacqueline, what got me in the rich dad, poor dad story, what got me to thinking there is more, I can live the life I want to live. There is abundance. There is a life for me that I can have a worry free, carefree life and not be concerned about bill to bill or check to check. That is the investor quadrant. And that's where Elevate to Wealth is built upon. Why is that important? As I was going through the quadrants, employer, self-employed, you own a business, and then you become an investor. Everyone knows when you hit the investor quadrant, that's when your money is working for you and you are not working for your money. So when you're asleep, you're making money. When you're on the beach in Tahiti, you're making money.
Now, so is that still considered, is that what they consider passive income?
Now,
Or
yes, that is considered what we call passive income, but it's also residual income,
okay.
it's generational income, because that's when you have created such a stable platform on several businesses. And this is
Okay.
the other part that I kind of want to lean into. We can't spread ourselves too thin, but we need to be smart about where we place our eggs, where our baskets are sitting. If you have all of your money in real estate, probably not a good idea. If you have all of your money in stocks and bonds and 401ks, probably not a good idea. The same way we talked about wealth building from moving from quadrant to quadrant, employer to self employed to business owner to investor. Along the way, you are diversifying your platform. And that's something that we don't know as Black women, Black young men, because it's not taught to us. We usually learn it later in age when it's probably too late because the credit score is a 550. The bank accounts won't, if you even have a bank account, because you got NSFs all over the place. And then we're doing cleanup to catch up. And so that's really where my why came from, is to be a true educator, how to get business credit, how the banks really look at you when you're applying for loans, how to get into investments, and not just investments from property, but dealing with foreign currency and exchange and stocks and bonds. You really need to have a diversified platform to be successful, especially in today's market.
Okay. Wow. Now you used an acronym. You said NSF. Is that what you said?
And non-sufficient funds.
Oh, okay. All right. I was gonna say because I was
And
like,
back in the
what's
day, we
that?
used to call that bounce checks.
Right. Okay. Look. Look. That means like when you go in your account is in the negative.
Yes, your account is past negative.
Oh gosh. You know what?
Okay.
I mean, and you're right. I mean, really, just just even I knew that this was gonna be a good talk, and I know
Okay.
it's so much information. I know I'm gonna have to,
Yes.
do
Yes.
something else with you or bring you back on or do like a part series or something.
Right.
But I mean, I think this is so good, like for entrepreneurs. Now, let me ask you this: do
Okay.
you do anything with? Because I know nonprofit, like, and I'm talking about again, we're talking about business owners.
Right.
I know some people choose to go the nonprofit route. Now, do you do anything with that, or are you more of like, let's say if someone wants to, I don't know, open a like me, I want to eventually I want to open up a wellness center. So like
Okay.
like you would be able to like assist me with different ways to be able to create the funds to do that.
That is correct. I can
Okay.
coach people on the foundation to establish yourself to be
Okay.
able to get corporate credit. Yep, or
Oh,
business
corporate
credit
credit.
from.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And a lot of people don't even realize, we just think, oh, I need to go to the bank to get a loan. There are so many ways and opportunities out there for you to access funds for your
Okay.
business. You could go through, there's so many platforms of like, donate to my cause, and all these cabbage loans and different things like that. But what it is it's a pocket of investors. How we were talking about that quadrant, and you get over here
Mhm.
to the investor. Now what they do is they take their money and reinvest it in you, and then charge you a percentage so that they don't even have to live off of the main companies they run. They can make money literally now off of investing in you with their money, and it just keeps making money for them.
Hmm. Wow, that's deep.
Yep.
Hmm. Okay. So that's definitely a very, very
Hmm.
powerful why, very powerful why. So that
Yeah.
tells us a little bit about your why and how your business came about. If you
Hmm.
don't mind sharing with us, like maybe, at least one of your challenges or
Yeah.
Obstacle. I know I don't like to necessarily use the word obstacle, but something that you may have experienced difficulty with, whether it be in your personal life or in
Right.
your business, and
Yeah.
how you dealt with it, how you addressed it.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So, one of the main things I can tell you is that I write in my book, 7 Days, Unlock Your Thoughts, Release Your Wealth. And a part of that for me was realizing that I had to unlock my thoughts. I had to unattach myself to the negative things that I had kind of prepared for my tomorrow, instead of my tomorrow being, rose glasses and, all fluffy, beautiful birds singing and all that. I
Mhm.
had to realize, hold up, stop, let's reset and then move forward. So, some of the hardest challenges: filed for bankruptcy, almost foreclosed on, tons of repossessions, car collections. I keep it real. I did not get to where I am today because of things that were just handed to me. It was a struggle, it was a lesson learned. And so when I tell people, I don't teach and coach and mentor from a place of a book. I coach, teach, and mentor from a place of experience. So I can tell you the things that, the hurdles I came up against: not having the right credit score, living above your means, thinking that, oh, I got to have some Prada shoes to go with this bag. But at the end of the day, you still have a light bill to pay. Living and having bills and creating bills. A lot of us are doing that and we don't even understand it, thinking that we're putting our money into something that's going to yield us back money. Patience says that we may have to wait a little bit before we see those seeds grow. But if we continue to nurture those things, then they will become fruitful. And that's the things that I've learned. Even though I've planted a lot of seeds, some of those seeds weren't seeds that I was happy about because of those, obstacles, shortcomings. But I kept the MAP process. And that's what I teach on in Elevate to Wealth: MAP, which is meditation, affirmation, and prayer. And through the MAP process, all things are possible. You can overcome every obstacle, every hindrance, every circumstance, as long as you are using the MAP process.
Give it to us again. The
The
three.
MAP, the MAP process is meditation, affirmation, and prayer.
Okay, meditation, affirmation, and prayer.
And prayer. That's the
Wow, I love it.
yes.
Okay. Now, okay, so this is and I know the last part. I know you're going to get into like a little more of a training piece.
Hmm.
I'm just glancing at my notes here.
Okay.
So this is actually a program in like a week, or
Hmm.
a series of classes that you offer in your Elevate to Wealth. Is that
Yes.
what it is?
That is
Okay.
absolutely correct. So, I've been doing one-on-ones for so long, and
Mhm.
now it's just to the point where I'm sorry, guys, I got to group y'all together.
I know.
I will definitely try to keep the classes small. But yes, in those courses and in those classes and workshops, some are a day for a couple of hours, some will be a weekend, some will be 3 to 4 weeks, some will be 3 to 6 months. It just depends on where you are and where you're trying to go. And definitely those classes include everything from the same things I was talking about earlier: business strategies, setting your foundation of your business right. Some of us are out here running different things and we're not even properly set up, or at least have the idea of the foundation that you want to have in place. A lot of those things are so critical, and so we take time to kind of back the train up a little bit and teach and implement those things so that other people don't have the particular pitfalls that others have run into.
Okay.
Hmm.
So now, do you take a certain amount of people? Like I know some people say, I'm available to coach 10 people, and everybody has their own individual plan, or is it
Hmm.
like a group where you have a certain amount of, like week one, we're working on this, week two, we're working on
Hmm.
that.
Pretty much. So
Okay.
I think from 2 to 3 different levels. beginning, intermediate, and advanced. And so the advanced ones, I only typically do 5 to 10 because that's me doing more one on one coaching specifically with them because they've gotten the foundational pieces together. They're up and running. They just need someone to come in, kind of reset the format for them, and then take them off to the races. But at
Okay.
the same time, yeah, it's, let's start here. And then we have different lessons and skills. And I'm a hands on person. So it's not a course that you'll go through where you're just like, okay, did that session. Let's wait for the next session. No, you're going to have some homework with me.
Okay.
I'll ask you
Nice.
if you're going to take your time to do a course on a Saturday morning or a 2 week process. I want you to be able to see an end result, see the goal, see that your business is now set up, see that your website is functioning, see that you're out, starting your book or having conferences, putting together events. That's the whole goal. Elevating to wealth means you have to take action behind the things that you are doing to reach your level of life and success.
I love it. I love it. I'm just checking now to see. I know we
Okay.
have Dr. Carolyn, we have Terry, we have Lisa.
All right.
So, guys, I want to make sure, I guess you guys can hear us okay. If at any time you can't, let me know. Just seeing if we have any questions. A lot of comments.
Oh,
Lord, that sounds like me. I
uh-huh.
love this. We need this so bad. Women and money. Stocks. One person said stocks away.
Yeah.
7 layoffs. Wow.
Mm,
Shared out. Okay. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure we didn't have any questions, because if anybody people
yeah.
join live and even on the replay for those that may catch the replay, Terry,
Uh-huh.
I always tell them that we'll cycle back, so if there's any questions
Perfect.
or
Yes.
that you can answer them. And then also too, we'll put your information
Okay.
in the comments. I guess if you want to leave a website or like what's the best way for them to
Okay.
reach out to you, or even if it's email. But I just
Right.
want to say that, just so I don't want to forget to say it at the end. So
Okay.
go. Okay, a couple more. I always like to ask
All right.
in terms of self-care. How, I mean, again, we talked about how we can run ourselves like ragged, right? But I
Yes.
always
Yeah.
like to touch on this because it doesn't matter what sort of business you do. We have to
Mm-hmm.
practice good self-care because if we
Yeah.
don't, right, we
Mm-hmm.
we're not
Oh,
going to be around to enjoy anything, to
yes.
teach anybody or make any money, So how
No,
do
no.
you just in kind of in a nutshell, how do you make sure that you practice good self-care?
Oh my gosh. For me, I have to do it. I have to go at least once a month to get a massage. Let me tell you why. Where I'm sitting is pretty much where I do all of my day in and day out business affairs. And so I'm like this, typing all day long. And so all of our stress sits here on our shoulders. I know Dr. Carolyn and Lisa. Lisa is an auditor, and so I know that mama is typing all day. She types, and so does Dr. Carolyn. I can tell you for sure that when you are exuding so much energy, you never even probably realize the tension that you build up in your body. The little warning signs that, I need some water, I need to sleep. I know this email has to go out, but promise you, take 5 more minutes. That's all. Just take 5 more minutes. When I wake up in the morning, I never rush out of bed. I lay there. I set my alarm clock, it snoozes, we keep hitting it. But in essence, what I'm doing is I'm allowing my body to awaken. A lot of times, people, the alarm clock goes off and boom, they jump, they're out of that bed. They didn't even realize that maybe they just needed to catch their breath for the day. Because once you're off to the races, you might not have another
Hmm.
opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
I'm huge on, look, I'll say this and admit to it. I'm huge on people working out, but over the last couple of weeks, I have been a little bit busy and I have not, but definitely daily walks, and I talk about this in the book as well. Get up and move 5-10 minutes a day. I try to do it here at my house because I work from home. Excuse me. So I'll get up and go up the stairs or walk around the house for a second. It's pretty funny. I won't say where I work during the day, but the CEO of our company, he has his phone in his hand and he just walks the floor all day. And I thought that is the craziest thing ever. But it keeps him to, when you get bubbled up, or bottled up, it allows you to kind of release because walking paces yourself, it allows him to kind of get the energy out. And so he's kind of doing two things at one time, taking care of business and releasing that energy. So that's why waking up in the morning, allowing your body to wake up on its own. Definitely, if you can't go and do a massage at, one of your local spas in the area, just do chamomile baths, lavender baths. Reach out to some of your natural or holistic stores in your area, in your community. They have tons of things like that that you can just use to say a woo-saw moment because we all need it.
Yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
Lisa commented, she said, I just said to myself today, I am way overdue for a massage.
Yes.
And I know
Yes.
I'm way overdue. I have
Way
to
up.
admit that, I work out regularly, but getting them, I can't tell you the last time I had a massage. But what I'm going to do, though, is
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go on Groupon because I do have
Yes,
a Groupon account.
that's right.
Yep. As a matter of fact, I may schedule myself one within the next couple of weeks.
I'm telling you, I had not been going, and when I went, and then just the feel of all of that being released, I'm like, wow, how am I even typing? How am I talking? How
Hmm.
am I walking around? I'm just balls of
Hmm. Yep.
tension, typing and papers and reports, and all of that stuff is sitting right here. So
Hmm.
let it go, ladies. Massages for
Let it
everybody.
go. Let it
Yes, let it
go.
go.
Um,
Yes, yes.
so I guess now would be a good time. It's
Okay.
so much fun chatting to you. Chatting to you. I'm not even using correct English. Y'all forgive me. I'm having such a good time, but I'm trying to keep track of time.
Yeah, I know. I see. Yes.
So, go ahead and move into the training portion or the training segment for us because I
Okay.
definitely want them to be able to, have some takeaways, some really good
Uh,
tangible takeaways.
yeah, absolutely. So, one of the things when we're looking at elevating to wealth, first thing that I want people to do and people to know is know your credit score. A lot of people have absolutely no idea what their credit score is. There's so many different companies out there that you can pay for free. Nothing that you have to specifically pay for. Go out there, it's $1 or it's free to see all your credit scores. Know your credit score because that is the foundation to everything. Credit is cash. Credit is
Now,
king.
now what about Credit Karma?
Yeah,
Is
uh-huh.
that a
Credit.
good one?
I like Credit Karma. I really like where I send a lot of my clients is, if I'm pronouncing it right, it's totalcreditcheck.com or totalcreditcheck.com. I'll make sure we get that out. I am a 100% believer that, utilizing those tools will benefit you in the long run because if we're trying to elevate you to wealth, we got to know where you are first. So that's number one. Number two is have a game plan. And I'm sorry, I'm going to do the 5 points. And for time, I'm going to give you some nuggets. And then to get a little bit more and dive a little deeper, we'll have the class that's going to be coming up on April 20th. So the second thing is kind of like how we discussed here, know your passion. Do not come to me saying you want to be a real estate investor, fixing and flipping houses, and you hate construction and you don't like numbers. That might not be the industry for you. I'm gonna give you valuable information, but to keep it real. So a lot of this is on you for me to help you. But we do have a series of things that we can go through to find out where your niche is, what you really want to do. Um, I'll use this as an example. I have a brand, Bella J Hair. And so a lot of women now are into selling hair. But what they don't realize is that there's a business behind that. It's not just putting up a website and selling hair. Um, that's one of my number one business coaches to people, is teaching them opportunity beyond what you're doing today. So that's almost tidbit 2 and 3. First, knowing your why, and then what are we going to implement to push you past that? So, the foundational things. Do you have a website? Now, I know a lot of people have this, and I get it, but GoDaddy is one reference that you can use. I believe Wix. I typically endorse GoDaddy. I won't
Okay.
want to say endorse, but I typically use GoDaddy. For like $12 a year, get your own signature email. Get your own signature email. Terri at ktcoleman.com. Jacqueline at your wealth, whatever your brand is. Uh, I need you guys to do that. And why? I'm going to get to that in a minute. But I need you to do that. I need you to go out, pay $10. You go to McDonald's, Wendy's. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm talking to some elite women here. So we're going to Chateau Laurent or wherever, the Ruth Chris of your neighborhoods. So I need you to invest $20 to get you a professional email. And if you are more than one or two people, they have programs as low as 30, $40. Again, that's a Friday night at the movies. Invest that in yourself to set yourself up professionally with a professional email. The second thing, setting yourself up professionally, is Grasshopper. Um, uh, Google Talk, I think, is another one. There's quite a few of them out there. Set yourself up with a phone line, so you're not giving out your personal phone number to people. Just out the gate, super, super important. And then the last piece to establishing yourself is, if you do not have like a home office, like for me, you work out of your office, I definitely suggest to go out and post office boxes, that sort of thing. But they now have them to where they actually read as an address and not necessarily a post office box, so that you can implement that out there as well. And then you can choose to use it or not, or if you get into, a lot of things are online now. So in the event you need some personal things mailed out or shipped, you don't want those coming to your home address.
What happened? Oh gosh, y'all. You know what? I'm so sorry, ladies. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden she just disappeared. I don't know if I'm still live. I think I am. I'm so sorry. We're gonna get her back. Hmm. Internet's still going. Let me message her. This is part of the process, y'all. Technology. Okay, I just messaged her. Hi. Y'all, I'm just, this is. Oh, let me see. Hang on. She says, I think her. Oh, her battery went out. Okay, so she'll be back in a second, guys. Just hang in there. So, okay, so I'm ready to blame it on technology. It wasn't technology this time. Okay, so she just plugged back in, so she should be back shortly. Well, I hope you guys are finding this helpful. I know I am. I have to ask a couple of questions though. I know she mentioned about the grasshopper in terms of the business phone. And I don't know how that's different from like a regular land. I don't know if that's like a landline or I don't know if you guys know, but I'm just gonna go ahead and ask because okay, so let's see. Um it looks like she's coming back. Hmm. Okay, I thought she was back. I gotta see if B Live is gonna let her back in now. But ladies, the point I do this every second and fourth Sunday of the month, and the purpose is to help us as women that you know either possibly on the fence about entrepreneurship or you've started your business but you just need some guidance and some different tips on all different I mean a lot of the women that come on they have a vast experiences, and the point of it is we all help share and encourage one another, right? And every guest that comes on, they give valuable information. Oh, she said it's coming back up now. Okay, they give valuable information that we as business owners can use, to be able to help us create a good foundation for our business, as well as begin to grow and expand our business the way that that we truly want to, and to be able to increase our impact. I thought she was coming right back. Hmm. My battery's low on my phone. Hmm. So, yeah, so that's the purpose of a Queen's Roundtable show. So please, if you can, tune in live. If not, then catch the replay and let us know that you're catching the replay and leave your questions and comments, and we'll definitely cycle back around. Hi.
Hi, I'm back.
Look, I was blaming it on technology. I was saying, ladies, this is what happens with the
Yes.
technology. And he was like, oh, he was like, my phone died on me. I said, okay.
Oh my goodness. What? I'd leave it up to my phone, and I had it plugged in, and I guess the cord just stopped working somewhere in the middle of our interview. I am
Oh,
sorry.
okay. No problem. Things happen. My phone is dying over here too. So I'm
Oh
trying to see now. Where did you were giving us your tips,
yes, yes. Giving
and
tips. And so we left off with have a phone number, a professional phone number, have a professional email, have if not a full website, a landing page that you give some information where people can reach out to you, which is very, very, very important. And then just a couple of additional nuggets is again what we're going to be teaching on, and what my foundation is the map process, as we had talked about before. Learning and taking time to meditate, have daily affirmations for yourself, as well as prayer time. It's the reason why we implement MAP with the people that I coach and train is because you are able to get so much clarity. You're able to take one thought or one idea and push it beyond things that you didn't even think were possible. And so, meditation to clear your mind, learn to rest, relate, relax, release, all of those great things. And then affirmation, pouring into yourself daily positivity. We deal with so much negative stuff every single day. Not only is it, negative stuff within our particular lives, but just negative stuff from even friends and family who, may not co-sign on you with what you're doing in life. And sometimes that's a good thing or a bad thing, but at the same time, pour into yourself that, the I ams, that you have the power to do, that you are capable of. And those are the hardcore foundation things that you need in life to get you to the next level. And last but not least, prayer. All of us, I wish and pray that we do have a healthy prayer life, even if it's just throughout the day, that you're showing gratitude for the life that you live. Because, as we again see on TV or hear stories about other people who are less fortunate or who live in countries that aren't as developed as ours, they are, migrating in large numbers to come to a country that we kind of sometimes take for granted, that we have running water in our houses, that we have electricity, we turn on a light and there's power when we plug up our phones. That sort of thing. We live in a society where we have begun to take those things for granted. And so I coach and teach and develop on self assurance, self development first and foremost, because if you're not grounded now, I need you to be grounded for when the money comes. Because if you're not grounded when the money comes, which is a whole nother course, then you'll lose it all. And then you'll be right back to, building and establishing yourself all over again. And I want to say that elevating to wealth does not mean that we are chasing a dollar. Elevating to wealth is a series of strategies and practices that will develop you to get to that level in life and maintain it. We're not chasing a dollar. We're not chasing a $300,000, $500,000 house. We're not chasing a Maserati. We are chasing destiny. We're chasing a foundation, a platform to set up for not just ourselves, but our children's children. So that when we are gone, we leave behind a generational wealth instead of generational bills.
Bills. Yep, I know that's right.
Yeah.
Um, I know you went through your tips, but I just wanted to get now when you mentioned about a professional email,
Mm-hmm.
do you just mean it's simply like an email that is connected with their business? Like instead of something like, cool J 71,
Right. Yeah.
is that what you mean? Or
Yeah. So,
okay.
so something that's not associated with the at Yahoo, at Gmail,
Mm,
at Hotmail, those type of things. If we are going to say that we are building ourselves upon wealth, then we have to do what wealthy people do, because you're not going to send an email to Bank of America or Wells Fargo at Tisha Jackson at send me your loan documents.com, or yahoo.com at the end of that. It's going to be a business name. So as we're elevating, we have to think elevate to the next level. It's okay that, yeah, I have my, Yahoo or Gmail account, and that's good for the business that you're doing at this level. But if you're trying to go here, you're going to, not that you will possibly need to, you are going to need to elevate your brand of how people find you, how people communicate with you on a professional level. That's just what it is across the board. um, the next tidbit that's tied into that is what I teach on obtaining credit. And that is one of the foundational pieces that I will share with you, is that you have to, in order for banks to take you seriously, and I'm not talking about, oh, I went to my bank and I got a $2,000-$3,000 loan. I'm talking about some serious money from banks that will give you a great interest rate. But these are just a couple of the things that you have to have in place in order to stop purchasing things on your personal credit and switch over to operating on your business credit side.
And how did they do that with the well, because I know you mentioned about the email and about the phone, because it might
Uh-huh.
be some people that might want to do this like
Yeah,
tonight or tomorrow. But so
absolutely.
for the phone and for the email, is it a
Yeah.
website that they go to create it, or
Yep.
what is it again?
I would say type in Grasshopper. You can Google Grasshopper phone services and double check into that. The prices are not astronomical. Like I said, it's if you go to Starbucks, you could probably afford a phone line.
Right. If you can afford a $10 cup of coffee,
You
right?
can get, yeah, if you can get a $10 cup of coffee,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, you can get yourself squared away with that. And in regards to the email, you can type in professional email GoDaddy, and then tons of them will come up. And again, if you can treat yourself to a $6 lunch every couple of days in the month, then you can definitely afford to have a professional look for your email as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow. Those tips were excellent.
Thank you.
That was
Thank
excellent.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look over here just to see if anybody put any questions in particular.
Okay.
Oh. Nikki said Auntie Vera watching too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But let me
Okay.
see. Huh?
On there.
Wait a minute, let me see. Okay, so now it won't let me go down. I'm sorry, y'all, I got a little thrown off. Okay, so we know about Terry, Nikki, and then the last comment was okay. They had said that we lost her, but we still see you. So I
Okay.
was, talking and still, trying to keep it going while we're waiting on you to come
Going
back.
yes.
Because also you were talking and then it was just like, it was like nothing, like fade to black,
Right.
But and then the last comment was Lisa said, I guess she was probably talking to me.
Uh-huh.
She said it's like Google Voice. It still calls your phone, but you give
Mm-hmm.
people a different number. Technology can be amazing.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. So, I mean, and that's why I said go out there, research it for yourself. When you come to the
Mhm.
class, we go over a lot of different tidbits and things that you
Okay.
can uh, have, whether it's a small price to pay or totally free. But again, it all depends on where we're trying to set your brand up for. If we're starting out here, but I know you already have 3 people, then let's just go ahead, pay that
Mhm.
$6 or $7 or $15 a month for that service so that you can have phone lines and extensions
Mhm.
and just really set yourself up professionally.
Mhm. And like you
Yeah.
said, you don't have to go all out. Like you don't have to do a. And I'm just saying this because this is something that I was just going through as well. But it
Hmm.
might also help someone else. Is that I guess
Yeah.
we all know that we're investing in ourselves, we're investing in our business. And
Hmm.
yes, because it's like you may not have to do the top of the line, like maybe for a website. Like I know you mentioned GoDaddy. I use GoDaddy. And I
Hmm.
know you mentioned Wix. That's Wix, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Hmm.
I heard someone else mention that, but I've never used that. But
Right.
little by little. But I know for me, I had to change my mindset and look at it as
Hmm.
an investment. Because you're creating a business,
Okay.
and when people go to your site, they need to be able to see, you know, right, at least like a little snapshot of you of what you do and how to
Right.
connect with you further. So even if you
Yes.
can't, nobody's saying you got to run out and do I don't know, $6,000 website because I know they can be very pricey.
It can be
You
very
know.
pricey. And I want to also plug we'll put her information out there. But Designs by Sequoia, she
Mm,
did my website, very
okay.
affordable, wonderful person to work with.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, she's absolutely amazing. So I call her my little niece, my little new adopted niece, but she is just an amazing young woman.
Okay.
Very diligent when it comes to website. She put mine together in no time, and just very thankful for her. But again, pouring back into some of our young women who are, saying, okay, I want to see what this entrepreneur life is like, and
Mhm.
invest in myself instead of
Right.
investing to make someone else rich. Because at the end of the day, we all want to have a mindset of being an employer and not an employee.
Right. And like you said, be able to, and I know Dr. Carolyn and I had talked about this too.
Hmm.
Um, but just like being able to leave a legacy, like
Yeah.
not the only thing you leaving your children, is, like you
Right.
said, bills. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And I know all of us, are at different stages, but I started later. So my son is 8, and I know a lot
Okay.
of people have grown children, but still, when you think about college and, you
Hmm.
want to be able to leave them something.
Leave something.
Mhm.
Yes, leave.
I think I'm gonna check her out. Spell her last name. I mean, not her first, Sequoia. Spell that.
Uh-huh. Let me see if I can find it here because I'm
Oh, okay.
sure I will spell it wrong. But yeah, I will make sure
Yeah,
that
because
I.
because she's a young woman. You said.
Yep. And
Okay.
okay, I found it. So
Okay.
it's Secoya, Sequoia,
Okay.
and her last name is excuse me, Perignon. So
Women. P
Sequoia
E R I G.
Non.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
And so she has affordable packages, right? Like a basic
Absolutely.
on up to okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
And that and where you can get a website and not spend $3,000, you'll have
Right. Okay.
one that's absolutely great for you. And
Okay.
I wanted to I know you said I'm not sure if they're still on. Nikki, my cousin Nikki, was saying that Auntie Vera was watching, and she was one of my when we were talking about growing up and thought patterns about money and wealth and business. She was definitely the auntie in the family who made sure for Christmas you got a budget sheet. And to
Okay.
this day, we always talk about Auntie Vera will give you that budget sheet. Are you sticking with it? But she's shown us, years over years, is the same thing we were talking about, elevating yourself, not just thinking about what you have for right now for
No.
today, but setting yourself up for tomorrow. So definitely hands down to Auntie Vera with the budget sheets from back in the day. She kept us on
Yeah.
point.
Wow, I love it. So it's 4:09. So I think
Oh,
we've been going for well, actually maybe about an hour now, because I
I
know we
think
didn't start
so.
exactly at 3. But
Yeah.
to end close for today,
Uh-huh.
um, tell us, what advice would you give to a younger version of yourself?
Mm. So this is where I'm going to get really personal. The advice that I would have given to my younger self is to not allow yourself to be influenced by others when it comes to being accepted and when you're making money. And what I mean by that is I often found myself in relationships or friendships with people, and oh my gosh, you're new to money. You're new to making more than 10, 15, $20 an hour. And for some people, even $20 an hour is like, oh my gosh, eye opening from maybe where they started. And then you're 30, $40 an hour. I would say don't be so naive to give funds freely to people when they promise to give it back. So I learned this valuable lesson. Only give out what you are not willing to get back, which means if you can't afford, let me say that with a capital afford, if you can't afford to give someone $200, $50, $25, don't lend it.
Okay.
Do not do it. Excuse me. Because you will put yourself in a bind helping someone else out when you didn't have the means to help yourself from the beginning.
Right.
A lot of times we feel obligated to give and give and give and give. And I heard a very powerful woman, Oprah Winfrey, say that when her income level went to the next level, you get cousins and friends and people that coming out the woodwork.
Okay. See, I haven't experienced that.
It looks could be on the way. I'm just telling you. And for those that are listening that are walking in your path to wealth, just be mindful that only give what you are able to give. Give what, which if it comes back to you, great. If it doesn't, no sweat, because you didn't give above what you could afford. And that goes into the same thing of investing. Don't invest more than you can afford to spend. If you have to say, oh, let me take a little bit out of my rent to make this happen, might not be the deal for you. Oh, I'll just pay my electric bill late. Let me go ahead and invest into this today. Might not be the deal for you. Whatever is going on will cycle
Mhm.
back. Don't feel like it's the last opportunity to do A, B, or C. And if I could go back in time, I would tell myself, girl, put those coins away. Save them for another day, because when your car note is due, that person is not going to give that money back to you, and you're going to find yourself in a situation where now you have to go out and find money. And just don't, just younger self and younger selves that are out there listening, don't do it, because you're setting yourself up for failure every time. So don't do it. Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So let me go ahead and just wrap it up for this afternoon.
All right.
Miss Terry, thank you so much for joining us. You are a wealth of information. I really enjoyed talking with you.
I too.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. And ladies, again, if you want, if it'll be here, so if you want to watch the, watch it again, please
Yes.
do so. And those that may catch the replay, of course,
Mm-hmm.
leave whatever questions you have in the comments.
Yes.
We'll be going back around, recycling to check. And I
Mm-hmm.
know now, Terry, tell us again what website or what information are you going to leave in the comments for us?
Yes, and I have two special offers that I'm going to give to anyone listening. I'll let it extend past today, but where you can reach me is TT Coleman. So that's the letter T, Coleman, ttcoleman.com, and that's my website where you can get some information about me. I will have a book that'll be releasing pretty soon. That book is 7 Days Unlock Your Thoughts to Release Your Wealth. Prayerfully next week we'll be doing pre-sale, so definitely look out for that. And if you need to get in touch with me about elevating yourself through real estate, or you want to do a loan, or you have people that you know who are looking into doing fix and flips and commercial properties, or you're just trying to buy a home for yourself, I lend. I have the capability to lend in over 30 different states, and you can contact me at 866 32 loans. LOANS. So that's 866 32 loans. And you can get me on my website at www.ttcoleman.com. Definitely can follow me on Facebook at Elevate to Wealth. Um, I'm not hiding, so you'll definitely be able to reach me. But the two things that I did want to offer is, if you are interested in the opportunity to learn how to get into this real estate thing where you're investing and learning how to coach people into getting financing, I will be taking on no more than 20 clients over the next 3 weeks. I have a big launch that's going to be coming out with an initiative I have, Global Key Capital, and we will be getting some money into some people's hands. So
Okay.
again, if you're looking forward to purchasing your first home, your second home, investment property, commercial property, fix and flips, I have a wealth of financing for you. So definitely reach out to me at 866 32 loans. And last but not least, I am having a course on April the 20th. That's going to be an Elevate to Wealth course. And that course is going to be not $89.99. We're going to do it for $39.99. So the tips that I gave Jacqueline today, we're going to go deep dive into that. and to the next level. So, I mean, we're dropping all kinds of business strategy nuggets, social media tips, how to fix credit. I mean, you name it, we're going to cram it into these 2.5 hours. And then if you want to take the journey with us, we'll give that opportunity as well. But I can't say enough how a pleasure it's been to spend this afternoon with you, Jacqueline. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Now, this course, is that online?
That is going to be an online webinar.
Okay.
Yep, that's going to be an
Okay.
online webinar. And then in the fall, the Elevate to Wealth conference is going to be coming to a city near you. So
To
definitely
Detroit?
excited.
I'm sorry, did you say
Yes,
Detroit?
Detroit. Detroit, we are coming. Yes,
Okay.
well, Detroit, we are coming.
Okay.
I know Atlanta, Dallas, and Denver, and I think it's Tampa. But girl, we're gonna add Detroit to it. I
Because
would
I
love
know
to.
you, because when we talked before, you said you're doing business with some people here in Michigan, right? Have some
No,
clients here in Michigan. No?
uh, no, I have
Oh,
friends in Canada, so just across the water.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
just over
All
there a
right.
little bit. Yep,
All
but
right.
super
Excellent.
excited for this
Excellent.
opportunity. Thank you so much. Thank you
Yes,
so
thank
much.
you too. And thank you, ladies, for joining us. Again, this is A Queen's Roundtable Show every second and fourth Sunday of the month, where I interview a different entrepreneur and we just talk openly and honestly about entrepreneurship and some of the obstacles and challenges they may have overcome, as well as provide you with some good information to be able to utilize for your business to grow your business, right? To increase your
Yeah.
impact. So thank you again.
You're welcome.
And we're going to go ahead and conclude. So have a good rest of the afternoon. And
You
I will talk to you guys again soon. Okay, so let me just get to my button here.
too.
All right, y'all. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Bye, everyone.